Ugh, there's too much light. My blessed mess forsaken! These fairy tales are much too clean, so dull and dry, a lifeless dream. I'll brew 'em bleak, I'll craft 'em dark, to make 'em grim, that's my hallmark. My guts fill up with pretty tales, their prissy cuteness never fails to make me puke, to lose my wits, to rot my teeth and give me fits. Out the rancid, stale and foul, despise the happy ending. Gross and nasty make me howl, though they may be offending. I'm here to build true tales of light, of fear and woe, bring back the night. I ain't dumb luck, a door up tuck, my humble goal is to run amok. A bias for happy endings excludes many tales from the brothers' collection. That a delicious story of boar gore, fratricide, black magic, and legalized murder made the grade is proof that they could remove stink from shite.
This blasted boar is a bloody nuisance. I'm truly pissed. Excuse my French. Fields damaged, cattle killed. I hear tell a dozen or so village brats met their maker. So, who will kill the brute? He can marry my daughter. What's her name? Yes, Virginia.
The crowd resists this offer. The boar is huge and bad-tempered. The daughter likewise. But then...
Your Majesty, for the health of the kingdom, lots of gold and a key to the royal privy, I'll track the beast in the forest primeval and kill it.
And I'll go to help my brother.
Fools often travel in pairs. Have you noticed? Two poor brothers, as different as water and spit, accept the king's charge.
Enter the forest from opposite sides, boys. You're more likely to find the beast.
The younger brother, decent but dim, receives a dubious gift from a stranger. Take this spear, boy, because your heart is pure and good. You can use it to kill the boar.
Thank you, unknown small person. Now I fear nothing.
Who is this midget? What's his motivation? Was there ever such a gift without cost?
A very fine toss, if I do say so. My spear has cut the poor beast's heart in two. I'll schlep the carcass back to the king.
I wish it weighed less. But long before he gets to the king, he finds his brother lounging in a pub. The lazy lout never even made it to the forest.
Have more beer, brother. What could it hurt? Soon you'll be a wealthy prince.
Better you than me, brother. I prefer the gold. You can have the title.
But the older brother's not really the sharing type, is he? After plying his brother with liquor, he walks him out for some air.
My, brother. Is that the fair Griselda bathing below? Whoa.
Having murdered his brother and buried him carelessly in the sand where he fell, he took the boar to the castle to collect the reward.
Here, your majesty, is the boar, as I promised. I'll have your daughter and my inheritance now. The wedding is arranged. I think she has a low tolerance for fools. You won't be the first to die.
This warning was insufficient to deter the ambitious criminal. After all, he'd already killed his brother for the chance to marry the harpy. For many years, the crime was concealed, the murderer appearing to have got away with murder. But one day, a local shepherd was moving his flock beneath the very bridge where the killing took place. My unburied bones thank you, friend. Long have they rotted by water. My brother slew me, claimed the boar, and wed the king's young daughter. Now this shepherd knew a portent when he saw one, and he took the singing skull to the king straightway. Thought there might be a reward, no doubt.
Your Majesty, I have here a human skull that sings, and I thought perhaps you might think that was valuable and offer me some...
Save the sales pitch. Let's hear it.
My unburied bones thank you, friend. Long have they rotted by water. My brother slew me, claimed the boar, and wed the king's young daughter.
Dot, take the skull and send this chap to the bawdy house. No, make it the beer hall.
Always nice when royalty behaves predictably. Like jerks. Poor man was just looking for a little love and maybe some money.
Then find my son-in-law, sew him up in a burlap bag, and drown him in the river like a rabid polecat. And do it slowly.
The bones of the foully murdered brother are gathered and given a proper burial in a beautiful tomb. Well, that's all right then, I suppose. This passes presumably for all's well that ends well. But it doesn't end well, does it? And what happened to the little guy who gave the fatal spear? Does he have responsibility in any of this? I mean, where's the accountability? Ever since Cain killed Abel, there's been a nasty corner in hell reserved for fratricides. Brother murder unhinges the world, and the death of the killer does not redress the crime. It only begins to heal a gaping wound. If you'd like to see better effects, play on! A gargantuan pig is said to be ravaging an innocent and defenseless populace. Really? No evidence of it? No gore? Not a single drop of blood? Pshaw! Make it stinky. Let's kill the clean!
And to kill a boar, or to cause a boar, is to let a boar wreak havoc upon the simple farmers of yore. One of the two is gonna happen, for sure. But either way, welcome back to American McGee's Grimm. This is the Singing Bone. Other interesting tale. As Grimm depicted, one of fratricide, murder, and well, supernatural skulls that can sing. Because, well, yes, that's how it happens and works. You think that's weird? You clearly don't know the Brothers Grimm. They're the most normal they were the most normal of storytellers ever. Yeah, admittedly it is kind of bizarre. It's a bizarre tale. It's one of the more bizarre. It's one of the more far-off ones. However, that said, it's actually still probably cool. It's a pretty good tale regardless of its macabre background.
Oh boy! Now becomes squeal. The people lament the boar caused chaos, but it appears to have fatally impaled so few of them. A decent massacre would justify their complaints. Make it nasty.
And now we get to control probably one of the cooler things in this game. A giant killer boar to destroy people with. Because this is how you wreak true havoc. No one gives you lip when you have a giant boar. No one thinks anything about the giant killer boar. If they do, well, tough shit, as they say.
Woo! Grimm goes far! Now! Wow!
So yeah, you're unable to butt stomp during this section, so if you want to clear up your if you want to raise your darkness level up, you have to quite literally run over everything, which I'm going to do because, well, things happen easily here. You can definitely get your good fair share of secrets like as you go though. And I will say this section with the boar is probably one of the most entertaining parts of it. Is one of the more entertaining parts of this game. Just because in essence you just get to wreak all kinds of havoc upon everything in the form of a giant, angry as hell boar. With speed power-ups just like lined up everywhere for you to just kind of wreak havoc upon them. No real reason, just because you can.
Let's put an end to this thing.
Cause really, who's gonna stop you when you're riding a gigantic ass boar? No one. That's why. You know why? Because they're gonna say, "Oh dear God, that's a giant boar who just gored someone by just simply tackling them like a football player. I should run for my life." And you know what? They will totally run for their lives. Because that's how it works. No, farmer, you died. How tragic of you.
We're giving up the Boston beer!
Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to clean up these last few small, tiny patches. And that was the game trying to click out on me again. That's actually the first time that's happened in a long ass time. And that happened to me in like forever.
Yowza! Faster than stink on poop!
Willing to cooperate with me, game? Please, maybe? Please. I think so. Good. I will accept this peace offering then.
Super speed!
Also, there's something kind of enjoyable of just listening to just like angry boar talk like her.
Whoa! Whoa! Ah, wait! Come back, you obstreperous hog! You're bound to be bacon! And good riddance! Ah, porca miseria!
And Grimm is showing more of his love of the bizarre and crazy, like, giant killer boars. So, with that, we shall move on to the next scene.
Two brothers tell the king they'll track the beast in the menacing forest in exchange for the princess's hand in marriage. But it's not the forest they should be afraid of. Make it gruesome. Let's muck it up!
So yes, now as our story continues, the boars has been wreaking havoc as it has. The king has decided maybe I should do something about it, but no one clearly wants to rise up. Except for two brothers. Two very different brothers who decide, with the simple request of being able to wanting the princess's hand in marriage, they'll take care of the boar. I mean, pretty reasonable request, I suppose. Such as deadly heights and suicide drop again. But is it really that true? Probably not, considering that, given what we already know of the tale of the fact that eventually these brothers will be sort of pitted against each other, with the selfish brother wanting to murder the other one in cold blood. But well, that's neither here nor there, I am afraid. It's just how the world works. It's cruel, it's unnatural, it's grim.
Stop it!
It was meant to try to teach morals and lessons to children by quite literally scaring the shit out of them. And you know what? It worked pretty well. It showed in many senses. Killing your brother is wrong. Trusting strangers blindly is also wrong. Being a complete and utter twit will get you killed, or worse, depending on your fancy. Just a few of the many lessons that Grimm taught, or the brothers Grimm taught. There's a bunch of others, but I won't go into further detail, as well, it's not really needed. Because, well, yeah. So for that, these last few houses that are still needing to be utterly destroyed from boars, let's continue onwards with the scene then.
But stop away! Ah! Princess Big Puss is on the loose. You're oinked, boys. Run for your lives. Save your bodily parts.
And yes, the return of the princess from the very first tale has made a reappearance once again, as well as our delightfully deranged king for like 2 tales now. I think from the first tale again, and from the girl without hands, as well.
Rumpenstump!
Unfortunately, again, that has happened, where now we have random pigs that will be running out from the woods to try to murder you. It's actually kind of silly. Suddenly savaged by evil pigs. Oh. Beware the monster. Beware of monsters indeed. I think there's a way of getting over here. I think. Oh, yep, there is. Because of very, very kind wind flows.
No, found it.
It's probably the only place you'll be safe. I'm not sure why. It just is. It's just how it works. Here in this strange, mysterious game that is Grimm. But I wouldn't want it any other way personally. Let's see. Is there anything else we gotta do here? I don't think so. No.
But stomp it.
I think there's going to be one more place, which is the removal of the boar itself. But just to make sure, I want to make sure I can get like the castle grounds taken care of. You know, just kind of better safe than sorry, if anything. Just because, again, I'm trying to avoid any more silver medals, personally. I mean, wouldn't really matter, I suppose, but it's kind of I think it's more or less the principle, I suppose, that counts. I don't know. Who's to say? Either way, that's taken care of. We will continue onwards. I'll try maybe see if I can get some of those trees back there. Again, I'm just being needlessly thorough because, well, yes. It's just how I am in this game. One of the few times I am, like, needlessly anally redundant to detail. Either way, we'll just see what the little guy with the spear offers now with his spear.
You call that pig sticker a spear? That's not a spear. Now this is a spear. Only room for one of us in this forest, short stuff. Let's go find that boar.
And yes, pretty much the spear is pretty much like a freaking spear of Longinus. And it's fantastic. It is freaking wonderful. It's so large, it's so over the top. And my god, it's fantastic. And as you see, there is a secret, kind of in a sort of dickish manner, hidden behind that fish. That one fish body. And to get it, you have to kind of time your jump, so to say. And it is a pain in the ass to do. I will not. I won't lie. I'll be completely honest. There, it is actually kind of difficult to get. There we go. Yeah, it takes some getting. It takes some adjusting for sure, but when you can get the timing down, you can. It's pretty straightforward to get. Or you could just do what I did, which was just jump between the platforms and hope to God they don't kill you afterwards. Right then, Mr. Fish.
The worst kind.
Right then, Mr. Fish. I guess we'll all be bastards.
Rompin', stompin', butt kicking good.
And I can continue just skipping scenes by on accident when I'm trying to double jump because I don't rightfully remember where all the animation triggers are. Because I am just a fool. Oh well, it happens. But at least we're getting to see more dead people as caused by the boar. And they kind of deserve it too.
Don't delay, but stomp away. Don't delay, but stomp away.
And finally, our dead boar, who really needs to be a bit more dead, really.
Something good. Now that's a fatality a la Grimm. Teach you to abandon me, you muck lover. Your bristles will make someone a really big brush.
And with that, Boar absolutely murdered in the worst possible way, let us continue onwards with the next scene then, eh?
While one brother's been hunting, the other's been boozing to build his courage. And now the coward snags a chance to make his brother's prize his own. Well, who could blame him? But to seize the boar, he has to get everyone inebriated. Make it stinky. Muddy it up.
Time to make everyone drunk as hell. Time to make everyone drunk as hell. Time to make everyone drunk as hell. So we can witness some brother murder, some fratricide. Yeah. Well, you know it's gonna happen anyway. So we might as well just make sure everyone's so pissed-faced that they won't even that they will probably never remember it at all in their life. Why? Because it makes perfect sense at that point. Plus, if they're all gathered together, it'll make getting rid of them all easier. Make it seem like I might sound like I'm being kind of sinister almost. Why would I ever do that? Also, frogs make a terrible return. I see them. Those happy little bastards. They did wrong. Also, our little bar maidens looking a little more lust-driven. That's not the word I'm looking for. Yeah, probably a bit more prostitute-ish, whorish. Meanwhile, these guys just go straight like shit-faced, like. It's fantastic.
Breathalyzer be damned. I'm no stinking drunk when I see it. Floozies and boozies, take a message. Drinking and cart driving don't mix.
And
Junior gets a heavy club to the occipital lobe. It's murder by numbers. 1, 2, 3. But we'll be counting all day at this rate. Let's make it quick. Make it rotten.
However, unfortunately now, before the night, now we are about to perform the actual rite of murder. However, we have a very, very big problem in the form of frogs. Those frogs are literally the freaking worst. Dear God, man. If there's anything that can go horribly wrong is that frogs are just generally just evil as shit. And it is no joke. Frogs. Also, there's a secret back here. When you, by going directly under the "you jump, you die" sign. There's still a lot more to show in this wonderful bridge of where people have been sort of committing suicide. This wonderful bridge that is now basically becoming Suicide Row. Bridge where people kind of just jump because no one really cares about living anymore. They need to die a bit. Also, we can get rid of our amphibious friends now and not have to worry about them mucking things up, as they would say.
Stomp it good.
But we're not done. Always love the poor fools that are sitting on these spikes just in time just to get horrifically impaled as soon as it appears, as if they just realize, oh dear God, I just realized where I'm on now, and then proceeds to die. It's sad maybe, but it's kind of humorous at the same time. I don't know, might just be me, but I find it pretty entertaining nonetheless. But with that said, all good things come to an end. And, well, brothers who are not like each other are no exception to that ruling. So with that said, let the murder begin.
The old coin drop head bash maneuver. Surprisingly effective. At last, this latter-day Cain has slain his Abel and stolen the dead man's prize. the boar. His just reward is yet to come.
And with that, that'll be it for now. We will continue onwards with this tale in the next episode. So, until then, everyone, take care.